All right, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna start standing. At some point, like I said, we'll go down to seated on the floor or in your chair if that's more comfortable. And then my plan is to finish on the floor. So we won't be doing a lot of getting up and getting down during the class. And I will, as we go through, just give you guys lots of options for how to modify the exercises. So if you want things to be more intense, you can choose that option. If you want things to be less intense, you can go with that. My big thing is make it work for you, all right? Everybody's different. We're all in a different place in terms of our strength, balance, mobility, all those good things. So please modify as we go and make it work for you. All right, let's take a big inhale. Reach to the sky. And then just let that go. We're gonna do a couple nice inhales and exhales here. And let it go. Maybe on this next one, inhale, and then on the exhale, just some sort of audible sound. Big sigh. Nobody can hear you, don't worry. Reach up. And let it go. All right, we're gonna take a shoulder roll here. My shoulders make lots of crunchy noises when I roll them. And taking it the other way. Just waking up the body these first few minutes. Feeling good. Now I'm going to take them back again, but this time I'm going to draw a circle with my elbows on the side walls. And now going the other way. Good. Now I'm going to lace my fingers, turn my palms away from my face, and just press away. So I'm dropping my chin a little, rounding. I'm just turn sides so you guys can see. Rounding through that upper mid back should feel good. And then reaching those arms back. Opening the chest now. If you can lace your fingers, great. If not, you're just reaching back. No worries, either way. Good. All right, now I'm going to reach my arms up into a V and just start to march. March, 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 march. Now, maybe you can march really big with that knee way up into your chest. Maybe your march will be a little bit smaller. All those things are good. Okay, whatever it looks like is perfect. And now as we're marching, we're going to just pull and pull and pull. So pulling the elbows down. And if you don't feel comfortable getting that other foot off the ground, you can do what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of tapping one toe and then the other. Okay, so if that doesn't feel like a good balance to really get that leg up, we're just going to tap and tap and tap and tap. Good. Release that down. Taking a little bit wider stance now. Think ballet. My heels are toward each other. My toes are facing out. Okay, just a nice gentle bend in the knees and twisting side to side. Reaching with those arms, but remembering to keep your shoulders down as you go. So I don't want to get my shoulders up around my ears. Reach and reach. Good. Coming center. Now I'm going to put my hands behind my head and just tip side to side. Now, if you're looking for something a little more intense, you can start to really bend those knees. Remember, think ballet. So the chest is lifted. I'm coming into kind of this squat, but again, chest lifted. Or you're going to keep it up taller. So again, modifying, figuring out what works for you in terms of intensity. Couple more. Really think about opening up space. We have little muscles in between each rib. So we're just stretching those out. Good. Holding here. And one more time, twisting. And again, bending those knees a little bit if it feels okay. Otherwise, keeping it up a little bit taller, twist and twist. Beautiful, guys. All right. You got your chair, hopefully. If you don't have one, that's just fine. What we're gonna do is just go through some little squats, okay? So basically, I'm gonna stand in front of my chair. My arms can come side or reach or hips, whatever feels good to you. This will be most intense. You're gonna just sit down and stand up. So I'm just tapping my seat down to my chair and standing back up. All right, nice and easy here. Warming up those legs. Now, if you wanted more intensity, of course, you could squat down lower, okay? Lower than your chair. Less, you're not gonna quite hit the chair. That's okay. Give me 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. Let's take that nice inhale, reach. Exhale, wah. Nice audible sigh. Inhale, reach. Exhale. And inhale, reach. Beautiful. Okay, guys, we're gonna do that one more time, all right? So you're squatting down, tapping your chair, or keeping it up higher, or taking it down lower, whichever works for you, okay? I'm gonna take my arm side this time. Tap that chair, stand tall. Tap, stand tall. If I'm going too fast, feel free to slow it down, okay? Not a problem at all. If the arms get too tired, too fatigued, you can just bring hands to hips. Couple more. Last one. Good. Shake it out. Inhale, reach. And ha. Inhale, reach. Ha. One last time. Inhale, reach. And let it go. All right, nice work, you guys. We're gonna do a little bit of standing work for the legs, or continuing, right? We're doing some squats. So, if you like, you're gonna put a hand on your chair or your stool, or you can even hold on to the wall, something like that. You're gonna stand really tall. Take one foot out to the side, and then I'm gonna just lift and lower that leg. Okay, maybe the arm's gonna come up, maybe to the side. Okay, again, less intense if the arm is down. So finding what works for you. I want you to think about pointing your knees and toes forward. Forward, forward, forward. And having this leg that's working as long as possible. Okay, so really point that toe, stretch the leg long. Remember, arm can be wherever you like. This will be more intense. Up here, I am feeling this in my glute and outside of hip and thigh. So if you're feeling it, you're right on track. So kind of harder than it looks. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now with your hands still here for balance or on the wall or wherever you're holding, why don't you just try to bring this knee up. Okay, we're gonna just bring this knee up. Find our balance standing on our supporting leg. Again, the knee can come way up. It can stay down. It can even just hover the toe off the floor half an inch, okay? If you're feeling like the balance isn't quite there. And then from here, see how it feels. Can we let go of the chair? Maybe a little bit. Maybe feeling a little more secure, we can find some other position. So again, finding what works for you. And if you're not feeling super balanced, just hold on to the chair. Keep holding on to the chair. Okay, and then maybe just whoop, take the hand off, play a little bit with it. Beautiful. Release, guys. Give me a good shake with that leg. All right, wag your tail a little bit side to side. And then we're going to do that again. So I'm pointing my toes, my leg is off to the side, little lift and lowers. Arms may be reaching up, or maybe side. Again, find what works for you. This can lift way up high, or it can stay very much lower. Standing really tall, shoulders stay relaxed. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release. Let's try again with the balance, pulling that knee up. Or maybe it's lower, maybe it's even just tapping the floor, okay? And then maybe we can let go. See what happens. Keep playing with that. I'm just gonna lower, trying to figure out my screen here so I can be a little closer, but you guys can still see my feet. It's very imperfect technology. My iPad is on one of my kids' music stand. All right, beautiful, shake it out. Let's see, there, well, can't quite see my feet, but at least I'm a little closer. Okay, guys, we're gonna switch around and go ahead and do the other side. So come around to the other side of your chair. You can even have the chair facing forward. All right, wag that tail. Wag, wag, wag. Okay, here we go. So other leg, I'm really pointing that toe, lengthening the leg, reaching up, lift and lower. Good, your leg should be going straight out to the side, not to the back. We're gonna get there, but just not yet. And release it down, taking the knee up, or maybe keeping it lower. And just playing with your balance here, see what happens. If you need more challenge, you can play with turning the head. You can even close your eyes. All right, that's definitely challenging. You close your eyes. So find something that works, but staying in a place where you feel comfortable, okay? Release, give it a shake. Give it a wag. All right, here we go. Second leg, second set. Lift and lower. Another important thing to think about here is your supporting side, okay? I imagine I'm really pulling up off my supporting foot, like there's a string here at the crown of my head lifting. So I want to watch, you know, sitting into the hip or leaning really tall on that supporting side. So you don't want to get there, sitting into that hip. All righty, release. Whew. Picking that knee up a little or a lot. And finding some balance. Remember that chair's right there, so if it feels, you know, more comfortable, keep your hand close to it. Release, nice work. Give that guy a shake. Give that tail a wag. All right. So guys, we're gonna grab our weight or our water bottle or whatever you have to hold on to, okay? Can of spaghetti, not a can of spaghetti sauce, a jar of spaghetti sauce. There we go. Anyway, whatever you've got. just into a nice sort of athletic stance, okay? My knees and toes are pointing forward. I have a little soft bend in my knee. And I'm thinking about activating my low abdominals, okay? So I'm standing nice and tall in this really nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine. All right, so I want to watch overly arching. I also want to watch overly tucking. Okay, so I'm coming nice and neutral. Now, how can I tell what's neutral? I'm glad you asked. Here's a good trick. If you take your hands and you put your fingers on your pubic bone and the heel of your hand right here on your hip bone, okay? The hands should look like this, right? They're straight up and down. If I'm arching, okay, my fingers are gonna come behind the heels of my hands. If I'm tucking, whoops, two people waiting. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Admit, okay. There we go. All right, so again, you want your, the fingers to be perpendicular to the floor. And if you can see, if I'm arching, my fingers will go back. If I'm tucking, my fingers will come forward, okay? So find that nice neutral spine. And the key to it is to really engage through the core, okay? Just put in your brain, belly muscles, I need you guys to turn on. Okay, now you're holding your weight, your water bottle, your spaghetti sauce out in front. We're gonna draw a figure eight. It's sideways figure eight, or an infinity symbol, right? Just drawing that figure eight. Now, a little more intense, you can make this bigger, or you can keep it smaller. We're gonna be here for about 30 seconds. Watching for, again, nice neutral pelvis, and also watching that we're not, see how now my shoulders have come apart from each other? I want to keep my shoulders on my back. So there's a gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades toward the midline of the body, okay? And amazingly, the 2 pounds, the 1 pound, the 3 pounds gets really heavy. If it gets too much, take a break. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Beautiful, guys. Release that down. All right. Still holding the weight or the water bottle or whatever you've got. I'm going to come center, shoulder height, up overhead, shoulder height, and down. Lift, up, middle, and down. Again, we're going to be here for 30 or 40 seconds or so, keeping that nice little bendy bounce in the knees, keeping that nice neutral pelvis, telling your brain to activate your lower abdominals, and keeping your shoulders on your back, meaning gentle squeeze of the scapula toward the midline of the body. Couple more. Good, release, give it a wiggle. All right, we've got 3 sets of those, you guys. That was 1, 2 more. Here we go, starting our figure 8. Watching out also for the lean back, right? No good. Standing tall, nice neutral pelvis. If it gets too heavy, you set your weight down, or you take a little bend in those elbows, okay? If it doesn't feel heavy enough, you're gonna make your figure 8 bigger, okay? And release. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, here we go. Center, overhead, center, and down. Watch as you bring the weight overhead. It's a very tempting to go like that, right? may find that it's hard to bring the weight overhead, just mobility-wise, okay? It feels like it's, the shoulders just don't want to go that far, in which case, you just lift it, you know, less, okay? Doesn't necessarily have to get arms totally vertical, okay? We can keep those arms and just reach up on a little bit of an angle there. Because that is a pretty big stretch at the top, okay? So if it's not happening, no worries. Just keep it a little more in front, not bringing it all the way up. One more. All right, release. Jiggle, jiggle, no one's watching. Okay. I am getting a little loopy in my living room. We're warning you guys. Week 5, is that where we are? Okay, here we go, figure 8. Couple more. Keep that nice little softness in the knees. Telling your brain to turn on your lower abdominals and draw them back towards your spine. Release. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, here we go. If you are feeling this, you're right on track. I am feeling this. I've got a 2-pound weight here. I work out kind of a lot. This is pretty intense, okay? So if it feels too much, just put that weight down, all right? This is awesome as well, just using the body weight. And totally drop that weight. And remember, the arms don't have to come all the way overhead. The flexibility may or may not be there for that, so they just come a little bit, not all the way to vertical. Couple more. All right, last one. Beautiful. Release. Give me a shake. All right. We're gonna do one more set here, guys, kind of an upper body set. We're gonna get those triceps working a little bit. Grab a drink if you want to. I'm just gonna double check. No one else is in the waiting room. Okay, awesome. I don't know why that did that today with the waiting room. All right, so triceps. You're gonna take your weight or your water bottle, and you're gonna have a couple choices, okay? Basically, you can come into sort of a hip hinge here, okay? So if I'm standing tall, then I'm hinging forward at the hip. My knees are pointing straight over my toes. It's a very parallel position. And I'm gonna reach both my arms back and just start lifting and lowering the arm that has the weight in it, okay? Now, if that doesn't feel good, if this hip hinge feels like too much intensity on the back or in the core, all you're gonna do is the exact same thing, just standing up tall. Okay, so your choice. Standing tall, pushing the palm back, both arms reach, and then the one with the weight just lifts and lowers. Or if you want a little more work in the back and core as well, you're gonna come into this hip hinge. Now I'm turning to look at you guys on the screen, but I want you to look down about 18 inches in front of your big toes, okay? Yeah, feeling this, right? Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Woo. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. Remember, you can stand tall or you can hinge. And if it's too much, always the option is to just lose that weight, okay? Do not have to have the weights necessarily to make this effective. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Ha! We're going to do another set, but before we do, just back to our marching. Okay, reach, march, march. Or maybe toe tap, toe tap. I'll back up so you can see that. Now I'm just tapping one toe and then the other to the mat. Okay, so that's a nice option for a little lower intensity, a little less of a balance challenge. You're still getting a great balance challenge, practicing being on one foot, or maybe we lift a little higher. Arms also can come down, okay? So again, that's totally up to you. If you're feeling fatigued in the arms, which you may be, bring the arms down and just tap that toe. Tap and tap and tap. Really great. Let's go 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay. Back to that tricep. One arm. Your choice if you want to find that hip hinge or if you want to just stand tall, okay? The trick with triceps is to keep the shoulders down away from the ears and get the arm up above the body. Okay, so this isn't, nothing bad's gonna happen right here, but to work the triceps, we really wanna get space, daylight, between the upper arm and the back of the body. Let's go 4, feeling these now, huh? 3, 2, beautiful. Shakey shake. Switch your weight, remember you can always set it down. And here we go. Gazing down 12 or 18 inches in front of your big toes. So again, don't look up. We don't want to look up. Now I just came to my neck. Want to look down. The neck is an extension of the spine. 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake, shake. Give it a little stretch, you guys. Stretch those triceps. Push that elbow back. I just came down to my knees so you could see me. We're still standing. Other side. Beautiful work, you guys. I am feeling that in my arms. So let's move on from arms. We're gonna actually go back to one last leg set before we sit and then lay down. Don't worry, we are getting to some core work. But first, we're back with our chair. Basically, you're gonna face your chair, okay? I'm turning sides so you guys can see. You're parallel, knees and toes are pointing forward. You're taking one foot back. Again, point those toes, point those toes. Knees and toes point forward, okay, parallel. And I just want you to lift and lower that leg. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Keep going. Now I know I said lift, lower. The better thing to say is squeeze, release, meaning you're squeezing your glute, you're squeezing your butt cheek and releasing it, and that makes the leg lift and lower, okay? So we're not just kind of flopping the toe up and down, but it's that glute, squeeze, release. Couple more, okay? Let's say 4, and it's very much a mind-body connection. Get your brain to talk to your glute and fire it up, okay? Release, awesome. We're gonna do the other leg. Make sure knees and toes point forward. Here we go. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Get that glute muscle going. Things to watch for. Make sure you don't lock or hyperextend your standing knee. Little tiny softness there. Huh? What are you doing? Good. There's 4, 3, 2. Good, you guys. We're going to do that again. But first, I just want you to pull back a little, get a nice stretch here. All right? Walking back, whatever flexibility you've got, maybe just walk back a little, send that seat back. You should feel a nice stretch here in your hamstrings. Watch not to lock or hyperextend those knees. All right, here we go. Round 2. Round 2. Go back to that first leg. Parallel, knees, toes point forward. Squeeze the butt muscle, release. Squeeze, release. I'll do it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, okay? I'll be with you in 20 minutes. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Remember, mind-body connection. My brain is telling my butt to work. Beautiful. Release. Let's do the other leg. Here we go. Lift, lower. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Let's do 4 more, guys. Squeeze, release. Point that toe. Last 2. Last 1. Awesome. Shake it out. Walk it back. Just get a nice little stretch there. Nice and easy. Notice what's happening with your belly muscles here in this position. See if you can actively, consciously engage those low belly muscles. Imagine they're drawing up to your spine, your lumbar to support it. All right, coming on up. Great work. We're going to start taking it down. Before we do, I want to do a quadriceps stretch, all right? So, if you can grab your foot, you're going to grab it and just pull it up. If your foot does not want to be grabbed, you can just rest it up on your chair. Okay, that may be enough stretch. A little more stretch there if you have that range of motion. Awesome. And if you feel like playing with your balance, go ahead and reach the opposite arm. Okay, switching sides. Remember, if it's challenging to catch your foot in your hand, you can absolutely just put it up onto the chair behind. At that point, you want to think about pushing the hip forward a little bit to get that nice stretch, okay, through the thigh. All right, you guys, coming on down. Okay, your choice here. We're going to come to the floor and sit cross-legged. If that's not comfortable for you, you're going to go ahead and sit in your chair, okay? And I'll give you some different choices. Another thing to think about is if sitting cross-legged is not comfortable for you, you can always try sitting on I just grabbed a cushion off my couch right here. You can always try just sitting down on a cushion. So elevating your seat a little bit can sometimes help as well, okay? So you can play with that. Let me see if you can, there we go, that's better. All right, so if I sit my butt on the cushion and my legs are off, that can be a lot more comfortable than being on the ground. Or or seated in your chair, okay? So if you're on the ground in this nice cross-legged position, I want you to just sit really tall and then walk your hands forward a little bit, okay? We're gonna get a nice stretch. If you are seated in your chair, at this point, you're going to just take one leg and cross it over the opposite knee and sit really tall. Maybe leaning forward a little bit, getting a nice stretch through the hip and glute. Okay, so this is gonna work in the chair or seated on the floor, either way. This feels really good, actually. And you just wanna think about breathing into wherever you feel tension. Into the hips, into the glutes. You may notice if you're seated on the floor walking forward, you may feel it in your low back. Just breathing wherever you feel the tension. Okay, coming up tall. If you're in your chair, you're gonna just switch legs. If you're seated, you're gonna just uncross, recross with the other one in front. So that will probably feel weird because usually we're so used to always going the same way. So uncross, recross, and again, walking forward. All right, sit tall. If you're on the floor, you're gonna extend your legs straight in front of you. If you're in your chair, you're just gonna bring your knees together and we're gonna twist. Turn, look over that right shoulder. So if you're in your chair, just a nice, easy twist here. And coming center, everybody make sure we're sitting really tall, straight crown of the head, lifting, right? Twist the other way. Keep breathing, guys. A couple more seconds there. All righty. Coming back, center. Coming back center. All right, great. If you are on the ground, you're gonna stay on the ground. If you're on your chair, we're gonna come down onto our hands and knees. Okay, we're gonna come into an all fours position. So in your all fours position, your wrists will be right under your shoulders and your knees will be right under your hips, okay? If it bothers your wrists to flex them to that degree, you can always just make a little fist, okay? And put your fist down onto the mat. That can sometimes be a nice solution for people with cranky wrists. We're not going to be putting a lot of weight on the hands during this series. So, all right, we're going to take a cat-cow stretch. So basically, you're going to drop your belly, lift your chin, and then you're going to press into your palms and round. Drop your chin, lift your belly. And again, and I want you to just go through this in your own time. Several rounds. Ideally, we would inhale in the cow and exhale in the cat. Inhale as you look up, exhale as you look at your belly button. Everybody, one more time, and I want to meet in this cat. Okay, you're in your angry cat. You're pressing into your palms, your chin is dropped. And here I want you to think about lifting your belly muscles. Draw your belly muscles up towards your spine. Try to relax your glutes. Okay, so I'm not squeezing my butt, I'm lifting my belly. You should feel this in your abdominals. Lift, 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 lift. And release. All right, staying right here on all fours. I'm just turning around so I don't kick my chair. I want you to extend one leg back. It's gonna go straight back at hip height, knee and toe points down. Now, two choices. You're either gonna just stay here or you're gonna lift the opposite arm. That's a bit of a balance, so find what works. You wanna keep the hand down, totally cool. Reach, reach, reach. It's like a little traction here. We get some space between all the little bones and soft tissue in the spine. Release. Other leg. Again, arm can be optional. Your gaze is down. You should be looking just to the inside of your thumb. Release. Okay, now back into your cat. Back into that cat. Relax the head. Lift those belly muscles. Draw that belly button up towards your spine. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Those are your TAs, guys. Those are your transverse abs. Those are the muscles we need for posture, stability, healthy hips. All right, release. Woo! I can feel that in my belly. You should feel that strong engagement. Okay, we're back to that first leg. Arm is optional. Reach, reach, reach. Remember, your gaze is down to the inside of your thumb. Neck is an extension of the spine. You don't want to put a kink in it. And other side. Leg extends back, just hip height. It's not way high, it's just hip height. Arm is optional. Release. Last time, find that cat. Lift those belly muscles. Press into those palms or into your fists. Release. One leg. Arm is optional. Or if you want to add the arm, you can always tap the toe down. That's another nice option as well. Release. Other side. And release. All right, you guys. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So coming down onto your back. There we go. See me there? Okay, perfect. So make your way onto your back, maybe onto your side, and then roll back or however is comfortable. And you're gonna just give yourself a big bear hug. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe rock it side to side if that feels good. Alrighty, now I'm going to pull one knee into my chest and let my other leg go long on the floor. Just getting a gentle release in that hip flexor on the straight leg. Make that leg on the floor as long as you possibly can. Point the toe, reach it away, and switch sides. All right, good. Now we're going to place both feet flat on the floor, knees bent, relax the arms by the side, toes point forward, okay? We're going to go 10 bridges, all right? I'm going to squeeze my butt and lift my hips, release it down. 1 and 2. I want you to really think about those glute muscles here. Lifting the hips. 3. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, and your face. Two more. All right, nice, you guys. Hug those knees in. All right, legs up, arms up. You're like a dead bug. Knees can be bent or working more towards straight, depending on your hamstring flexibility. Circle your wrists and ankles. You're a dead flamenco bug. Like I said, I've been in my living room for too long. Circle the other way, guys. All righty. Now, bringing those legs to a tabletop. You're going to tip your table to one side, extend your arms, and look away from your knees. Now, if that's too intense, you're going to keep your feet flat and just tip a little bit, knees, windshield wiper a little to one side, extend your arms, and look away from your knees. Okay. So we can definitely make that twist a little bit less intense as needed. Yama, you're wrong. You're wrong. And then go ahead and switch sides, you guys. So starting in that tabletop, to then tip the legs or feet flat and just tip the knees a little bit to one side. Extend the arms, look away from your knees. The idea here would be to keep both shoulders down on the ground, working on mobility in the thoracic spine. That's kind of the upper mid-back, okay? And coming back up. We're going to just put the soles of the feet together now. You're still on your back. And let those knees flop open, so like a butterfly on your back, butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet together. You can rock your butterfly side to side if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, just keep the feet flat on the floor, okay, with the knees bent. Then from here, you're gonna bend your, you guys stay on your back. I'm gonna sit up and show you. You're gonna bend your arms, elbows to 90 degrees, like you're making a goal post with your arms, but you're on your back, okay? So your arm is on the floor. The whole arm is on the floor. And just stay there. Feel that stretch and opening in the chest and heart. If you feel like you're ready for a little more stretch, you're gonna simply slide your arms along the floor. Everybody stays on the floor, elbows, hands, and try to work towards straightening those arms overhead. Probably won't get straight, but and that'll give you a little more intense stretch. If not, just keep them at that goal post. Keep those elbows bent 90 degrees, okay? All right, you guys. Beautiful. Now what I want you to do, staying on your back, is just bring your arms down by your sides. Palms will face up. Lengthen your legs, let your feet flop open. We're just coming into our final 2-3 minutes of class in a final resting pose, Savasana or corpse pose if you do yoga. Same idea here, just total relaxation. Close your eyes if that feels good. And just take the next 2 minutes or so to really focus on your breath. So we want to slow those inhales and exhales down. And I want you to think about drawing the inhale down into the base of your body, down to your pelvic floor, your sacrum, down into the base of your body. You can picture a skeleton. The pelvis is kind of a bowl shape. So we think about breathing into the bottom of the bowl. And on the exhale, you'll empty the bowl from the bottom up. Long exhale. Keep the breath slow. And keep the breath drawing down into the base of the body. And on this next inhale, see if you can think about breathing into your low back, your lumbar spine. Allowing that area to expand as the breath comes in. Stretching from the inside. And on the next inhale, I want you to think about inhaling health. Inhaling the health of this class. My 8-year-old just told me I'm doing great. Inhaling the health of this class, inhaling the fact that you took 55 minutes to do something good for yourself while we're all stuck at home. And on the next exhale, I want you to think about exhaling that health out into the world. Exhaling the health that we've cultivated out into the world where people surely need it. People who are sick, people who are working hard to care for them and are just tired. People who are lonely, don't have a lot of support around. So inhaling the health of this class and all 18 of us together, and then exhaling that health out into the world. Deep breaths. All right, you guys. Go ahead, reach those arms overhead, flamenco your wrists and your ankles again, just roll them around. Coming on up to any kind of seated position, take your time coming up. Please acknowledge yourself for cultivating health. I am acknowledging you guys. Super happy to see you guys and know that you're here. We'll do this again next week.